Hey guys, mtgnoob here, bringing you another 4-pack or booster pack sealed event. The point of this is you don't have an entry fee, it doesn't cost you any tickets. You open up 4 packs, you build a 30-card deck, and let's get to it. I see a Slayer Stronghold. I don't usually like opening lands in sealed events. It's kind of like you end up sans 1 rare. But let's do this. Okay. These rares are not amazing. Conscripts is really good. Lunar Mystic is kind of poopy. Um, I don't know. I don't really see anything stellar just from those rares. Let's obviously look at red first since we have conscripts. Okay, Stonewright is fine. Devils is fine. Exterminator is fine. I wish I had 2 Exterminators, not 2 Devils. Ringleader is fine. Conscripts. Aggravate. Yeah, that's a little aggravating. Whoa, ho, 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 puns. Alright, that's what our curve looks like. I'll bring down the green next because I'm trying to see what pairs well with red. And usually it's green or white. Double Pathbreaker Worm might be actually enough to get there because he's good. In this format, but he gets his butt kicked by flyers, so let's keep that in mind. Remember, when you're doing things of this nature, you have to... Shit, my black's actually pretty good. Needs a Deathwind, but that's not bad at all. When you're doing things like this, you have to really play cards that sometimes are not fantastic. And when that happens, you do your best. Okay, so red-black's a thing, possibly. I mean, we have this, which I really like as a card. It's hard to really build around it, but if you end up having one dude in play and this in play, you end up with a 5/5 flyer. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. All right, let's just check out our blue. Smuggler's fine. This guy's fine. It's fine. Mentor, this kind of wins on its own, especially when the decks are 30 cards. I didn't even see this. This is fine. Once again, this is somewhat okay. And let's just look at white, just because, like I said, white pairs pretty well with red. I don't even think red's our actual color at the moment. I'm kind of looking at like blue. Just put these back in. Probably play this. Maybe play this, but I don't think so. So currently, I think we have a really solid blue-black deck. I don't think the white's great. I mean, it does have some stuff like this and this. But I can cut the white. And I like the green, but I don't know. I think basically I'm going to probably just play blue-black and splash for Zealous Conscripts, as bad as that may sound. We're at 19 cards, so I gotta cut 2 cards, essentially. Alright, this guy is really good in our deck because he combos really well with this and this. Okay. I wish we had more guys to really make these Driver of Deads awesome, but they're not so great in our deck. We can get this guy back, so that's always good. That's a good flyer. That's another flyer. This guy's fine. This guy's pretty good. Double Driver of the Dead, like I said, is okay. We have a lot of 5-drops, so we got to keep that in mind. I don't know if I run the Mystic. I mean, let's see. This is an instant. And that's about it. I mean, we can play this. This is a trick. It draws a card. Do we have a lot of demons? Let's see. Let's see our demon count. Demon. demon, demon. I think we could actually potentially play this if we wanted to. And unhallowed pack isn't the worst either. You know, I'm going to maybe try to make my curve a little bit better. I think we definitely want some combination of these cards, including the Zealous Conscripts, because he just does work and wins games. And like if I have him and I have an active smuggler, psh, that's the sound of me being impressed. Okay, so fleeting distractions, okay. This is okay. I think we want Peel, obviously. Unhallowed Pack is meh. Those are some good dudes. These are all dudes except for Barter. Barter's really good. These are all dudes except for Demonic Rising, and here we go. Okay, so we have way too many creatures. The only reason I would play these guys is because they mill, and they're kind of like on the mill plan with the Stern Mentor. Right now we have to cut 6 cards, though, so let's be realistic. I don't think we have anything we really want to save. Potentially the Stern Mentor, but we could always get it back with the Grave Exchange. So I think I could cut the Unhallowed Pack. We're going to play with one of these. They both do the same thing. I'd rather have the Fleeting Distraction since it's a combat trick. I don't think we're going to need to reach for that extra 3 life. They both draw us a card or cantrip, so that's always good. I like all the rest of these spells. Let's look at my weaker creatures here. I don't think we can play the Lunar Mystic. We only have 2 instants, so I think that's a pretty easy cut there. This guy is so good, but we can't really take advantage of him in this type of deck. Okay, so like that, like that, like that. Like all these, I think I would actually probably cut a Driver of the Dead. He's not very stellar in this matchup or this build because we can get this back, we can get this back. Maybe getting Smuggler back is enough. But I think we have a lot of 4-drops, and I think they're all better than Drivers of the Dead. Okay, so like this is what we're looking at currently. This is our deck. We can put in 1 card. I think we definitely play the Driver. I don't know if we would just put this guy in. I mean, he does do work, and we have ways to kill him and just steal games. Do you think he's better than Renegade Demon? I mean, I could see potentially cutting the Renegade Demon and a Driver for just these 2 ghouls right here, because they're just so good in the fact that these cards are clearly superior, usually. But when you're playing against a 30-card deck, I mean, doesn't really do much. My only other concern is we're not really a beatdown deck, so the Soul Cage Fiend doesn't really seem to fit. Plus, he's a double black card. I think I'd rather play 1 Driver over him. The way we lose with this deck is if they have a very fast start and we just get like jumped out of the gate. So we might want to figure out a way to play around that. I think we have Barter and Blood, which is nice, but then we're kind of weak. We don't have a lot of other removal spells early on. So although I think this is pretty strong in its own right, maybe we should consider a different path. But I think having a backup plan, a mill plan, this plus this is good. This is good. We have guys that if they attack and get blocked and trade, or we just hang them back. Yeah, I think if we could survive the early crazy rush, which is pretty dependent on this, I think we'll be okay. If we end up drawing all of our 4s and 5s, we're just not looking too good. And that may, even though this costs double black, maybe we do need to put it in. It does trade. I think this deck might be a little bit slow. That's my only concern. All right, let's see what they say for adding land. I'm going to add land. 661. I don't see a problem with that. Usually I don't like the direct split, but this is fine. And the conscripts is going to be butter if we draw it. If not, it's just going to be terrible. Alright, so I'm going to save this, and then we're going to look at everything all over one more time. Okay. So, let's put everything back one last time. We will color sort, and we'll look at this with fresh eyes one last turn. Alright, so let's look at our white. Seems pretty good beatdownish stuff, but it does not really seem deep enough. I mean, say we pair it with green. Then we play Zealous Conscripts. Even at this, we're short playables, and this does not seem very strong. I mean, we do have a good late game, and we do have a flyer and a really hard guy to deal with. I wish this was a form of attack in like a Bladed Bracers or a Trident or something of that nature, but currently this iteration of the deck does not seem very strong. So let's color them. I don't think... Let's try to not play the green at the moment. I think the blue is too good to get away from. Like, I want to take advantage of these Driver of the Dead. Like, this is 17 spot on. I mean, this is the opposite of the blue. And this is, I mean, it's got a little bit more removal, a better early game. So I'm actually going to add land to this as well. They say 7, 5, 1. I'm good with that. I'm going to name this as my secondary deck because of the fact that I want to have something that if I end up getting like destroyed and beat down, I want to have something to kind of bring to the table in a form of a more defensive deck. Alright, so it really comes down to, do we want the blue plan or do we want the black-white plan? Both playing Zealous Conscripts off the splash for red. This also gives us the option of Slayer Stronghold, but I think the colorless is too restrictive to really play this. This is more creature-based. And our Driver of Dead really does do work in this kind of deck. I don't know. Something about this deck I like more, but I think the other one has better game with potential mill plan and potential bounce everything plan, etc., etc. Alright, I'm going to load the other deck. We're going to chance it. Okay, and then we'll be off. Alright, so I'll bring you round one shortly. As always, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for round one, and please subscribe.